Thanks. Just a note before we dig into our talk. Mandy was mentioning some of the people here were keen on making notes. So we do and record all of these, and they go onto our website. So what we'll do is on Friday we'll send Mandy a link, and she'll share it amongst everyone who's here, and they can go to our site, they can watch it again, and things like that. So you don't have to stress about taking notes and stuff like that. You can just go onto the site later, watch it as often as you want to. So all the talks, even from last year, are on our website. Okay, perfect. So let me just go back one step. So we're preparing for year end and the new year. And what happens, we've seen for a lot of SMEs, this time of year is probably the most stressful because you're coming up towards holidays, a lot of the actual economy is slowing down, people are not paying you, they're putting you off until the new year, or they are paying you and then you haven't got new work in the new year. So it's quite a stressful time of the year, and then, it's December, so we want to have a jol and things like that. So we're going to just go through some basic steps that'll help you in future just to get your head around what to do at this time of year. And a lot of these things are basic. It's not like we're the only people who thought of this. But it's very simple things that you can apply to any type of industry. And I'm sure there's a lot more. So if there's questions you have, just ask. And we can dig into your type of industry if we don't if there's something we're speaking about that you feel won't apply in your case. Unfortunately, because of time actual constraints and things, we can't cover every single eventuality. These are the most common things we see, and then we'll go forward from there. Okay, as I was saying earlier, this is the time of year everyone wants to just have a break. And strangely enough, this year especially, it's our first full year after lockdowns and things like that. So it's a lot of our clients are especially tired this year. Like, when you have all the public holidays at the start of the year and then you have 1 5-day week and it's like, wow, it's too many days. This year has been like that, too many days, and it's been going on. So a lot of people are tired. A lot of people are hutful in the year. They just want to just go now. So let me just go through these. Okay, so you finished playing with the mic, Ken? Thank you. All right. So if you guys just read the proper planning is going to make all the difference. And just bear in mind, just think of a plan as plasticine or clay, not actually as concrete, because these plans will change. You can have the best ideas, the best plans, but something will happen and you must be able to change those plans. So it's not a case of, oh, I've made a plan and now I must just stick to it. The plan will change, and be open to those things, because if you're going to be fixed on one thing, your plan will fail, because life happens. Life happens all the time. So proper planning is not a case of, I've got everything sorted. I've got the basics sorted, and I'm thinking of there might be a few things happening which I can maybe deal with. Okay. You want to be that guy? Although I think I might have worked like that once. A long time ago, yeah. It's raining now, so otherwise I'll be in shorts, probably. Okay, so we're going to go through the basics. So holiday checklists. So you run your company. And this applies for most things, not just the end of the year, but have a process, and especially for your customers, if they need something, you're not there, office hours are changed, what to do, who to call, when you can service them, things like that. So the procedures and for your staff. So it's clear. And again, as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Put something down in place. Like my other phone will be on between 9 and 12. So WhatsApp me or call me, I can help you. After that, you can turn the phone off. Your family can reach you on your other cell phone or your other SIM if you've got a dual SIM phone. So things like that, at least you can switch off, enjoy your life, come back, because nothing's going to happen. It's not like, unless you're a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon and you're on standby, don't turn your phone off then. Okay. But generally what I'm saying, so have a plan, put it down and let your staff know and let your customers know. One of the easiest things to do is email. So you're out of office and you can set that automatically with all the information on it. And as soon as someone phones or someone emails, it sends out a message immediately. So use those tools, it's helpful. Because you obviously, SARS, no one likes SARS. They give us a lot of headache and work, but no one likes it. So prep all that stuff. If your VAT is due end of this month, have that already in place. By the time you close or plan on closing, like for our clients, Friday next week, all their VAT is in. Done, ready. Pay as you earn for the 7th of January is already going to be done by Friday next week. So now the clients are happy. They don't have to stress. The staff can go on leave. And that's it. And sometimes, and what I say is like, sometimes it won't be perfect. So a client might not supply you all the information. They might not have everything. Then we just look at an average and go, well, the last 3 months, your average was X. Pay the average and you catch it up on the next cycle. So at least there's a plan in place. They don't go, oh, I don't have all my documents, and they do nothing. Because that's the actual issue is that whenever an SME actually panics, they do nothing. And that's probably the worst thing to do. Okay. So get all those small things out the way. Then it's done. You can have a break. And very often, if you are the staff, because it is when we own our own company, we everything, we're the salesman, we're the manager, we're the driver, we're the cleaner. So when you are your own staff, set times aside where you're going to be at work and when you're not going to be at work. Okay? And that's totally important because if you're not refreshed or have time away from the office, it's just going to be a slog and you'll be like, why am I doing this? What is the point of this exercise? So get away, and it might just be 1 day a week. Switch up on a Friday or like a Monday and just switch a day off either time around. It'll definitely make your life a lot easier. And a lot of these things, as I was saying earlier, you can do all year round. So it's quite important to start having these structures because one thing we've learned with clients, Ed, there's no clients online, hey? We love them, that's what I wanted to say. No, so the one thing we've learned about clients, if you give them 150%, they're going to always expect 150%. So the day you give them 100%, which is what they're paying for, they're going to be upset with you. Not that you've done anything wrong, but you've set an expectation. So set expectation from the start with your clients. Yes, my working hours. I'll answer my calls on these times. I won't pick up my phone after 5 o'clock. If you send me a WhatsApp, that's social media. If you want work done, send me an email. Things like that. Like I don't have WhatsApp and those things. If you want to talk to me, email me or phone me. So you set that boundary. And the problem is that as entrepreneurs, we're too afraid because we want the money. I want your money. So I'm going to be available and eventually you wipe yourself out. So set these things all year round, but then be clearer at the end of the year. Okay, so definitely something that you can add on to. obviously the admin side of things, insurances, if you've got a shop, premises, vehicles, make sure they're up to date, and make sure all that admin stuff is done. Last thing you want to do is a book policy actually bounces, a debit order bounces come end of the month. You have an accident, they won't pay for your car, or your shop is actually, vandalized, they won't pay. So look at all those admin things. And like I said right at the start, cash flow is always an issue. So if there are things that have to go off and they're important, chat with the supplier and go, I'll pay you later, or maybe I can move my debit order from the 30th until the 7th or something like that. A lot of those things are actually possible. Okay. And then, of course, if you're going away for a long time, just basic things, just, I don't think they drop off newspapers anymore, but you find the local paper, have someone come and fetch it, because crooks can see if it's piling up outside your door, there's no one there, or, at your office, just make sure that, the ADT or whatever knows that you're away and things like that. So just basic stuff, because you want to come back and then it ruins your holiday. Someone's broken into your office or things like that. Personal side, obviously, we look after our clients and their actual companies. So personally, things like your will, highest rates of death happen now over this time of the year, whether it's self-inflicted or whether it's by accident, it happens now. So make sure things like your will are up to date. It's just going to make your family's life easier. And then things like vehicles serviced, roadworthy, usual stuff, just so you can go away and have a clear mind, and just enjoy your holiday. So just basic things. And things like medical aid and things like that, that those things are up to date. So on this from here, checklist, anything we've actually covered? Anyone, you want to ask anything? Yeah, cool. Okay, nearly ready to go. That's the most important thing. Holidays are to escape, get away. And sometimes even if you just escape in your head, you're not leaving your place where you're staying, but you're just away from this same day-to-day stuff. So it'll give you a chance to come back fresh. Okay, so now we want to look at coming back. A lot of SMEs struggle at the start of the year. They always go, there's no work. I've been away for holiday. Where's my work? How do I plan starting my new year and things like that? So, and cash flow is always an issue. So we've got a few tips around that. So don't stress. It won't help. Stressing is not going to solve anything. Okay. Cash flow. In this world now, where everyone WhatsApps and sends messages, it's too easy to actually ignore it. Physically phone your clients. I'll tell you now, we do this. I do this. This is my job at our company. I love two things the most: invoicing the clients and spending the money that they pay us. Those are the two things I enjoy the most. So it's my job to invoice them and to chase them. And the thing I've learned works the best way: physically phone the client and go, where is my payment? And I'm going to tell you right now, some of you are new here, wouldn't have heard this, but others have heard this. A client will only not pay you for three reasons. One, they never intended paying you in the first place. So theft. They were using you, they were never going to pay you. And that happens a lot. Number two, cash flow, just like you. They're waiting for someone to pay them so they can pay you. Just the same thing. And number three, which happens probably half of the time, something isn't right. They're not happy about the work. So they're actually holding the money, but they don't want to be the one to say anything. So when you phone and go, where's my money? Yeah, but you didn't finish the job. It's been 2 months. Why didn't you mail me? What did I, not do? This. Okay, fine. Fix. Done. And they pay you. So because of the no phoning thing that everyone does now, they don't pick up the phone to say, the job isn't done, or I'm not happy, or whatever. They wait for you to reach out. Those are the only 3 ways clients don't actually pay you. There isn't another one. So figure out very fast that it's not the first one, that they were stealing from you and they were never going to pay you. The other 2 you can fix. So where a client has cash flow, so why I say call, where a client has cash flow issues, tell them, what can you pay? But they say $100 again, pay me the $100. I know you owe me $5,000, pay me 100 Rand a week. At least I'm getting 100, because what often happens is the clients wait until they've got the $5,000. And how many months is that already? They never get it because they're spending on something. But if they're giving you 100 Rand a week or 500 Rand, every month, that's 6 months, 10 months, boom, you paid. It's not nice, but you're getting something every month. And that's going to make your life easier, because you can use that 500 Rand or 100 Rand to pay your bills. So that's the one. So, and when you call them, you say, on what day? Get a day from them. They're going to pay you a day, get a day from them, and the next day, when that day passes, phone them. You promised to pay me on this day. What happened? Then you're going to know immediately who you can write off or things like that. Okay, but the thing is, call, like physically pick up the phone and phone. Don't send an email or send a WhatsApp. I can ignore that. Because when you speak to somebody, you can hear in their voice if they're actually talking cuck. So listen to them when they're speaking to you. Okay. Yeah, your hangovers. Yeah, not from the party, from work. Very often at this time of the year, we're putting work off. The client might have paid you already. Now you stall and you do it in the new year or whatever. Or you just haven't had time to finish it. So the quickest way to get your money in the start of the year is finish all the work that you had towards the end of this year. If you didn't get time to do it, first thing you do is knock all that work out. So straight away, you've got like actual income. Okay, so that's like one of the best things ever. Because at the start of the year, it's normally fairly slow. So use that time, then to push out all the work you haven't had time to do and stuff like that. Yeah, so sales, again, like at the start of the year, we're stressing about where's our next work actually coming from. The easiest place, a lot of clients, you'd either send them an email quote or something like that. That's why it's good to use email. I mean, sending stuff on WhatsApp is great, but you try to track everything because every contact is a different place and you're going to have all these groups. You might have closed the group down or something like that. Email is the best. And then what you do at the start of the year, we do this. So I'm the guy who comes up and talks. I'm the guy who does the marketing and sales. Now, at the start of the year, I go through my sent items and I go all the way back to January. So January of this year, I'll go back to, and I'll see who I've sent quotes to. And I phone them. And I go, hey, Bob, I quoted you. You never came back to me. What happened? Why not? And find out why not. Maybe I was too expensive. Maybe I'm not experienced enough. Maybe we're too far away. They don't like tech because we use a lot of tech. They want someone to come in the office and do the books. So find out what that is. And you can apply that. I mean, I don't wait for a year. I do it every 3 months. but it's the best place because you've already quoted them. So here's a customer, it was not a customer, here's a lead that's already come in your door. You already know what they were asking for. You already know what the price is, that you gave them. Find out why you never got the job. And if they're like, yeah, they're giving lots of stories, say, what must I do? What should I do in order to make someone like you happy to hire me? Even if they don't want to. That's something you can use in your marketing. Maybe you've got to upskill somehow or something like that. So very, very important because those guys have already found you. It's not like you have to go do sales and marketing. They've already found you. The work you did last year is already there. It's happened. Yeah, administration, very, very important. We all hate admin. And I'm the worst. I absolutely hate it. We are franchises, so I hate it so much. So we have a franchise, so we've got quite a few franchisees around. I wrote the ops and training manual. It took me about a year. And the reason why we did this was it's already in place. We don't have to think about what should somebody do, when should something happen, what is the timeline for something. So besides all the basic stuff that you think you might need, like work-wise, when is your VAT cycle, when is your tax cycle, things like that. It's nice to put them inside your calendar. If you guys actually on that point, some of you might not remember from the earlier talks, there's only certain things you're going to have to file with SARS or with SIPC or stuff like that. We have a sheet, like a schedule. It's only 1 page. And it lists everything that you could possibly think of as an SME that you got to file, either with SARS or with SIPC, Department of Labor, things like that. So if you guys are not sure what those things are, send us a mail. You've seen the things on your seats. Our email address is on the info@sme.tax, and we'll send you that thing. We'll send you that page. So you might not need all of it, but you'll most certainly need some of it, okay? And we'll send it through to you. So the admin, very, very important. Again, if you use email, and a lot of it's free, there's lots of free actual emails, put it inside your calendar. When does my BE cert expire? When does my tax thing expire? When do I have to file RP6? When do I have to do my annual financial statements? Put them inside your calendar and put a 30-day notice. So it'll send you a notice to say it's expiring on this time, and you've got time to action it. I mean, we use these tools to make your life easier. So don't always sit there and go, shit, whatever. You're never going to remember because you should be on sales. You shouldn't be worrying about admin. You should be focusing on sales. Okay. I should go on before I go into a mentor. On the admin, even if you don't have staff, there's 2 things I want to touch on admin, and it's to do with staff. Even if you don't, I'll start with if you don't have staff first. Write the procedures out. So if you do something regularly, like how would I do a quote? What information must I get from a client? Just prepare a little sheet. Proper registered name, back number, address, all the things you need. What is the quantities they're looking for if it's a physical thing? Do I have to drop it off? Are they coming to fetch it from me? So whatever your environment is, just whatever the most common things that happen inside your organization, just start doing like a 1-pager and just go, for sales, it's this. Quoting people, I do this. If it's, once they accept my quote, what's the next step? And start putting these things down, even for you, because you remember, but then shit, I haven't got their VAT number, or I haven't got their physical address or their bank account, to actually pay them. And then when you get staff, you already have the stuff. The amount of time you save by handing a staff member a process and go, quote, follow the script. and they can go through and follow the script. So on staff, I think I might have said this to a few of you guys before. We always struggle to decide who to hire first, what staff member we should hire first. Once we got over the fact that we can't afford them, because we always stress, how am I gonna pay them, the actual salary? How do I afford them? So the easiest way is you hire staff to do work that you hate, or work that you're not skilled to do. Because if you're not skilled to do it, you're not going to do it well. So you hire someone, especially if that's your industry. So you hire the skill to do the work, and now you're the administrator. They're the ones you're hiring out. Like a lot of accounting firms and that, that's why they have article clerks. They have all these young article clerks who come in and do all the work. And then the senior guys don't want to do the books. They want to write all the papers and go, oh, here's all the legal briefs. They hire those staff to that work's cut. No one wants to do it. They want to all do the advisory work. So if you're good at that, hire the advisory work. If you're good at the advisory work, hire for the admin work. Because what's going to happen is every hour you're doing admin is an hour away from you doing what you would like to do. So then if you hired staff that frees you up, how much more can you earn? So think of half your day as an admin. Now you're doing your job full-time every day. How much more are you going to earn? A lot more. You're going to be able to afford the staff member. And what I say about hiring for work that you hate is you'll know, A, if they're not doing the work, because suddenly you're finding the work you hate on your desk again, or B, you're growing and now that person needs help. They can't get through all the work, and that's why you find it on your desk again, because you'll see it immediately because you hate it. If it's something you love, you won't, it's fine. But if it's something you hate doing, you'll see it immediately and go, why? And you're going to ask the person, why aren't you doing this? Either they don't do it or they need help. Okay, so on staff, I just want to say like those things. And just a reminder, you do get ETR on staff. So we have a talk on it. So if you get coming into the new year and you're looking to hire, you can get a tax break from SARS, okay, on your pay-as-you-earn. You can go and see our video on that. Okay, mentors. You guys must really think about finding a mentor. And a mentor can be multiple things. It doesn't have to be someone physical that you can chat to, which is great. But sometimes you might not know anyone who you can talk to, or you feel you can't talk to. You can, like nowadays with things like YouTube and podcasts, you can actually follow guys online, and they're talking about, running their companies. I mean, a great guy in SA, I mean, he's amazing. And you can listen to the stuff he's doing, even our talks, if you want to use our stuff. Go through and listen to the stuff, what's happening, and you make your notes. What am I going to do? How am I going to go through it? Because what a lot of people get wrong about a mentor is like they're looking for someone to do the work for them. A mentor's job is to kick your bum. It should be, I'm stuck here, and the mentor goes, have you thought of this and this and this? Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, bye. Then you come back and say, I've thought of this and this and this. Okay, and now? I don't know. Well, bye. I think about it. That's what a mentor's job is. Not to sit there and write up your business plan for you, or sit there and write your sales thing. Is to make you do it. Because if you can't do it, whose actual company is it? And how long is it going to last? You see, that's the mindset of a staff member. It's not the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay. But it is good to have physical mentors, people you can go talk to. And very often, entrepreneurs know other entrepreneurs. Why? Because we're not sitting in an office. We're talking to other company owners all the time. We're people in an office talk to people in an office. They don't get to meet lots and lots of company owners unless it's a salesperson inside the office. So invariably, just in the circle of people, you can get a group of people to talk to you and try to get people who push you. They're going to say to you, no, come, go read this, or go do that. You got to do the work. So mentors are really cool. There's so many podcasts where guys, they talk about mentors and they've never met the mentor. They'll be like, hey, what would this guy do? Richard Branson, for example. And they'll go have read his books or listen to a podcast and go, okay, this is how he approaches sales. This is how he approaches, hiring staff and things like that. And YouTube's fabulous. There's so many people. If you just type in there on your phone, mentors, you're going to get videos and videos and videos. You'll find somebody who you gel with. And that's the key. It's got to be somebody that you want to actually learn from. Because there's an old saying, you can't teach somebody something they think they already know. So you think you know it already, you can't be taught. And you're going to miss out. So yeah, YouTube's great. Plenty of these podcasts are great. And you'll find somebody that gels with you. They're like, I like this, I like the way they think. They're in my industry, I understand the way they're going. And there are a lot of them now. It's exploded a lot. So yeah, just think about that. Very, very, because it's a lonely road. You guys all know. Being an entrepreneur is lonely. Yeah, you don't want to tell people you're struggling because you're going to put on a brave face. You don't tell people, hey, my debit order's bounced. I don't know, life's tough. People aren't paying me and things like that. Because we're going to be brave. We're going to, no. It's good. My business is cooking. I'm like, going. Meanwhile, it's falling apart in the back. And just talking to somebody could change that immediately. Because now you're seeing things slightly differently. Okay, questions on that so far, mentors and stuff?
So sales part. I'm an artist and an interior designer. How would you package those sales things? So something people are just like sitting around thinking, oh, I need a mural done, or I need my house redone. It's almost like they have to come to you or hear about you type of thing. Can't be just calling you like, hey, you want your house done?
So you have a very, so if the guys online, the question is for someone who's more artistic sales.
Yeah.
Those are actually the easiest.
Really?
Yeah. And if you take things like Etsy, Pinterest, Facebook, wherever you can put an image, because we're all attracted to our visuals first. So wherever you can do an image, and the best thing is, why I say it's easy is that sales always take work, but if you posting something, so let's say, because entrepreneurs know each other and because we all want to be like outdo the guy next door, our neighbor, or our friend group. If I paint my house and you do all the paintings inside and nice sort of artwork, my friends come to visit and they go, oh, that's amazing. Who did that? I'm going to refer you. And then they're going to want something better or something more, because no one, like even if you have kids, look at the friendship group. When one has a child, suddenly everyone's having a kid. And it's like that. So, but take photographs. Take photos of the stuff you've done and put it online. This is something I can do for your house, or this is something I did for so-and-so. Especially when you just asking for a quote, even a client. Say, just, what would you say to somebody about my work? And they'll send you a WhatsApp or something going, oh, you're amazing, the work is so good, it's nice and clean, and the quote was good value, and you put that on Facebook. This image for this client And this is what they said. And that's what you do, because that'll be a referral type of work when people see it. And people are always walking around seeing things. So I might not want to do it now, but in 6 months, I'm going to remember the picture I saw. I'm going to go find it. I'm going to phone you. So that's how you do it. Because knocking on doors, or even something as simple as a flea market, you know, the farmer's market, stuff like that, where you can show stuff you've done. Works very, very well. Yeah. I mean, to give you a personal example, I say, I mean, I've something like a bed. You think, how are you going to sell a bed? Remember the guy who did the futons? So years ago, guy was making futons. As the, I don't know if you all, like if you guys actually know what that is, like those Japanese beds. And they were very new in SA. And we went out to Bruma flea market just to show them and display them. And the guy could not make them fast enough because they were new and no one had ever seen them. Then they went into showrooms later. So about 18 months after that. But for about a year, we went to different flea markets, just showed the beds, showed what they would, you know, and then it goes from there. Okay. Cool. Questions? Anyone? Nothing. Ah, okay. Yes.
Might be new to it. One, something like driving, practice makes perfect. And if it's not the one person that maybe is liking your picture, the bed, but they see the bed, as you mentioned, and you've got 10,000 views, and I'd like to say, you know, constantly do it and build yourself, and people will know, okay, here's the person, you know, with the artistry, you know, I've seen this, I like this, and then once they share, and I'm not too familiar with that, an algorithm that is on social media, it just travels. So social media, my suggestion is the way to go. Then we have the various different ones.
Yeah, especially if you got something people can see. So if you go onto our website, we did a talk, it was about April, May, on social media access, different products in social media to use, and a lot of them are free. So utilize, especially if you've got pictures. You know, it's amazing. Like we had a client who painted house roofs, and he used to take his drone up and take a picture of the house roof. You know, I did this house, it took me 3 days. People are like, hey, the paint loss that guy used was like 2 weeks or whatever. So visuals are very, very good. Like food is good like it as well. People take them, put them on Instagram and things like that. Even if you're on WhatsApp, I think there's that stories on WhatsApp. I haven't been on WhatsApp forever, but you can put those images on your actual profile, and then it cycles through. You can put your artwork in there, and even the prices, and then people go onto your profile and see the artwork on there, and they'll contact you. So there's lots of ways to do it. Yeah, does that help?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else? I couldn't have answered everyone's questions. I'm not that good. Oh, yeah? Nothing. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier, before you guys all, so in January, we're doing a start of year talk. Some of it, what we've done now, but just to get you going into the start of the year. But we're also launching our new and adopt a SME program. We run it every year. So Ed will probably send out a link early January before our talk, and you guys can then go on and sign up. And then some of the attendees at that talk, and probably at our February talk as well, will actually be chosen to attend our course. So it's completely free, and it runs a whole year. There are guys here at this year's course. You know, if they said it's awful, they're lying. No, we make you work. So it's not although the course is free, the work you have to do. We had one lady, I don't know if it was last year, who complained that she didn't want to do the work. Like our staff are hassling her because we're chasing her for stuff. So we asked her nicely to leave. But yeah, there's work on that. So it's not a case of, oh, I've got an accountant to do my bookkeeping. You've got to supply the books. You've got to supply the information. You've got to do the social media. You've got to come to the talks, listen to what's going on, because that's how you'll grow. I think everyone who's attended has grown. So yeah, so if you want to be part of that, you've got to be January and February next year. Because we wanted to be people who attend our talks. But like social media, you tell your friends, so yeah. Generally, we want you to be doing some form of training. There must be some like activity happening. It can't be an idea, because then you can attend these talks and you can fine-tune that idea. But if you're trading, you need to get the most out of it, because we can fine-tune what you're doing. If you're trading, you have to do taxes. You might have losses, but you still have to file your returns. You can get incentives. You can get finance. So we are expanding it slightly. We'll announce it more in the new year. But every year we just fine-tune it, enhance it. I mean, it's free. It's something that we do for free. It's not like we get paid. It comes out of Ken's time. No, but the whole office, our organization wants to do it. We enjoy this. So yeah, you'll find the link. So generally, if you're trading, you don't have to be trading. You don't have to be like 10 million rand a year. Just trading, get going, and then we can help. Okay, perfect. But even if you've got a question and you're not going to make the program, I say this every talk. Just send me a mail. Send us a mail. Any question. You know how many mails I've had this year? I've got more fingers than I've had mails this year. Please. Because for 30 years, I can guarantee that you guys don't know everything. Mail us, please. Don't be scared. If you're not certain, just ask. Send a mail.
Assisted my business usually by compliance 70 days, but he's right. You have to put in the work and ensure that you provide them with all the necessary information for them to work with. So on that note, I just wanted to thank you for the sacrifice that you have taken, especially. I can imagine that doing this coming from Joburg, every month it takes a lot of time. You also a sacrifice on some of the finances that could have been channeled in other things, but you've been consistent and in sharing your insights, experience, quite a number of ideas that honestly benefited me in different ways. And I'm sure that I'm speaking for other people that might not have become so personal. But just a quick one, question on top of the comment that I just made. You indicated earlier on about planning, and I've read that proper planning improves, chances of success by at least 60%. Can you kindly, probably take us through on your planning, like the key elements that should be included in one's plan for the year? And then secondly, how does one, track or do the metrics to check if you are making progress or not, and also tweak some things here and there in order to ensure that you stick to the plan. And maybe if the plan is not working, you try to, implement or adopt certain things that will ensure that you reach your targets. And maybe the last one would be in terms of the CRM platform, the customer relationship management system. Which one do you recommend that we should use? I know there's quite a number like HubSpot, Monday.com, and quite a number that are sponsored by Zero and stuff like that. So it's just on those three things.
Okay, cool, thanks. So the questions around planning, what to look at, what to think about. But first to say to you in response, yeah, we thank you guys for actually being here every month. It makes it easier and we enjoy it. So thank you guys for attending every month. You also traveling, you also sacrificing, so thank you. Yeah, so then on planning, so we did a talk on this 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think. So I'll go through some of the highlights, but there is a talk on this on our site. So whatever you're doing, regardless what industry you're in and things like that, very often the entrepreneur goes for the sales side and goes, I need to make whatever, 1 million, 2 million, 500,000, whatever their sales number. Because that's where they're going. They're going, I need to make that. And then my life will be better, my business will be better. And I've said, do it the other way around. So if you want to make that number, what are your costs? And the most important cost to have is yourself. And I was doing this exercise with a lady in Cape Town the other day, and she's been to varsity, she's got a master's, she worked at one of the biggest listed companies as a product manager, and now she's retired and she runs a company in Cape Town. She started off a company in Cape Town. And she can't make any money. She's doing the 500, 600,000 Rand turnover number, but she's not being paid. And why she's not being paid? She hasn't put her salary in her planning. So if you don't put yourself in your planning, when the money comes, you're not going to get paid because there's no money for you in the planning. And I touched on this last time. Guys, this is the real thing. If you leave yourself out, your costing on your pricing will be wrong. Because you're never going to get the cost of sales to pay yourself. So it's like simple example. I mean, so do your costs first and work your costs on whatever your industry is. If I made no sales, regardless of what sales are coming through, I'm going to pay myself. I'm going to pay my vehicle. If I have a vehicle, I might be using public transport, but plan that in because it's not free. I need a phone so people can call me. I can call them because that's how you've got to talk to your clients. You've got a website, there's hosting costs. If you've got a CRM, which we don't recommend. If you've got a CRM, you're going to pay for those things. So all the things you'd have to pay for before you make a sale, get that number. Because everything you do with the sale, if it's a product, you're marking up the product. And I think I used the example with the flowers, and something as simple. You can go to the flower market or the fruits and veg market, and you can buy flowers and fruit and veg directly at the farmer's market at cost price. It's like a quarter of the price you'll buy in the shop, probably even less. So once you know the cost that won't change, so you will pay yourself a salary, you will have to pay your transport because you have to get to and fro from things. So the things that don't change, fixed costs, know that number. Now, if you've got a product, and if you're selling services like us accounting, it's still a product. Okay? But I'm going to use a product like you're buying a product in. So if I'm buying in a product, and let's say my fixed costs are 1,000 Rand a month. I need to cover the R1,000 a month. So my products, which I'm selling, must make me R1,000 over the cost of my product. I know I'm making this incredibly simple, and I don't want to go into lots of lines of things, but whatever your product is, your product must make you more than R1,000. Because so let's say your product costs you R500. You selling it for R1,500. Why? R500 to buy more stock, and R1,000 to pay for the fixed expenses yourself, your transport. If you don't do it that way, you're never going to make money. It's a hobby. I promise you it's a hobby. Okay, but on that point now, you always go from the cost up. Two things will show itself. One would be if the market holds your price, like bread as an example. Bread is pretty much the same price everywhere. Government loaf is the same whether you go to Woolies or you go to Spar or you go anywhere. It's roughly the same price. So you can't now mark up your cost and make it more because people will go somewhere else because it's the same price. But then you got to realize I've got to sell more bread. Now you got to do volume. Volume will then give you your R1,000 to cover your OPEX. Okay. But now if it's not a case of volume, maybe it's just the region you're in. The region you're in will determine, but I don't pay, like for example, if your shop was near the farmer's market, the example I'm making use of, I can't triple the price of the farmer's market when I'm 2 actual Ks away because my customers can just walk to the farmer's market and buy it there. So I'm going to be closer to the price of the farmer's market. But when I'm in Gateway, I can charge 10 times the price of the farmer's market. So you might have to move your company if that's what you want to do. Those are the things to think about. You see, does that help? But do it from the bottom up. Fixed costs. Things you're going to pay regardless of whether you make a sale or not. And you must be in there. Because if you're not in there, your ultimate price will be wrong. Okay. It's very, very simple to explain it like that. And it's immaterial. Like with our services, what am I selling? My time. So if I look at my salary that I want to pay myself, how many multiples of time am I going to sell? And that's how we price it. You see, so it's similar to a product. Think about it the same way. And remember, you've only got 1,600 hours of time a year. If you want to laugh, we did the maths. Promise you, when I was very young, we worked it out. If I took leave, sick leave, the occasional public holiday, and I don't want to work like a crazy person 12 hours a day, like a normal life, 1,600 hours a year. So if you want to make 10 million Rand, how many hours, how much are you charging an hour? You see, so that's the maths for hours. 1,600 hours a year. So the longer you had a job, the more experience you had a job, the more you're going to earn in those hours. So like a very high-powered attorney will be able to charge 20,000 Rand an hour. That's like an attorney out of school is probably going to be 450 Rand an hour. Skills-based. My time to do what I do, when I do tax advisory, corporates will be like 5,000 Rand an hour. It's generally free because the corporates are paying for it. But other SME clients will be like 1,800 Rand an hour, kind of. But it's not a skill you're going to be using. You're not going to be hiring me every day. You understand what I'm saying? So look at what you're selling in terms of time, and that's how you cost it. Okay. Then on CRM, your Outlook or your Gmail is perfectly fine. There's free tools in those. Use that. Anything with HubSpot, I pick them. Monday, Wherever you're going out from where you're working to another system, us humans are lazy. We don't do it. So try to do something that's already in where you are. Because if it's like CRMs, there's normally somebody's job, and that's their whole job, the CRM. So you generally don't have to do it. I mean, simple habit that we do, and I touched on it earlier. So I'll do all the quotes, and at the beginning of the new month, I'll go check my sent items and go and follow up. I mailed you earlier. What happened? Or phone them. You don't need a CRM for that. You see, so that's fine. Cool. Anyone else? Questions on that? Does it help? Perfect. Thank you. There we go. Well, if they've paid you, as long as they've disappeared before you've done the work, then just smile and enjoy it. No. So there's.
You said those plants.
So I'll answer this from an accounting point of view. So because you've received the money in advance, it's not income, it's theirs, it's their money. And there can be admin fees you can take off from that. But technically, from an accounting point of view, it sits on your books as you owe the money back. Have you invoiced them, then it's no longer money owing, that you owe them. But yeah, if a client's paid you to do something and they haven't come back, and it happens, I mean, we get paid in advance. That's something we did right at the beginning when we started the company. We get paid in advance. The first of the month, I invoice. So it's actually the last week of the previous month I invoice for the first of the new month. And if clients don't pay by the 15th, we're not doing that month's work. So December, if they haven't paid me, I don't work because I haven't been paid. So, but we do have clients who then pay us on the 1st, but they don't supply the bookkeeping. And then what do? You're going to do the work eventually, so you keep the money. And then if they have moved on or something, then obviously you handle that. You do a rebate, less admin, because you would have spent time following up with them. Where are you? What's happening? If you've acquired any product on their behalf, in our case, it's normally software licenses, which will take off the funds and then reimburse the rest once they're back. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Yeah.
Like time limits. You said
you can set any time thing, but do it on your quotes. So just say any and deposits that are, or any, to depend. I think you're doing photographs. Web, I remember. I think, okay, yeah. So for example, and it's funny enough, the hardest part of designing websites is waiting for content from the client. Yeah, no, I've built enough. Our website, I wrote all those, so I know. So what you do is just say there, any content not supplied within so many months, then the deposit is forfeited. Remember, you're going to follow up with them. Where's the content? Where's this? And that takes your time. Might be an hour. And you might even go as low as whatever your hourly rate is and go take an hour off every time. So then you invoice them for the time you spend following up with them. And that you'll suddenly start seeing the actual impact and deposit get smaller and smaller and smaller until they're going to pay you again. So we actually do that. So if a client pays us, true life stories, a client might pay us every month, and then they don't supply the bookkeeping. And then what happens? They're on a loan, or SARS phones them and they go, where's my books? Now they supply everything on Friday. Can I have my books on Monday? Not going to happen. But if we're going to spend time now catching up those books in a hurry, I'll bill them again. Now I'm billing you for inconvenience. You've paid me to do the bookkeeping, but now I'm going to bill you for inconvenience. So do that. And it's not like we're doing it now because we're a nice big franchise. We did it on day one. We set our boundaries on day one. We'd rather go to the beach instead of sitting in an office you know, and I'm not going to be there if a client isn't going to pay. So you set your boundaries at the start.
So are those stipulated in the contracts or?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why on your quotes, you might put on your email signature, as long as it's anywhere where the client is notified. And that's why we love email. I don't want to do WhatsApp. I don't want to do social media and put it on there. On every email or quote, it stipulates on that. And we make our clients, if we don't have a contract, we do a service agreement. They can leave any time, but it's in there that, you know, they'll lose their funds and stuff like that. So, and do that. Set those boundaries right at the start. Because your clients, if you give them 150, they're going to be upset with 100, even though they're only paying for 100. Remember that. Okay. Anything else? Guys, thank you very much. We do have some snacks over there for you guys to enjoy. Sorry, Ed, you didn't hear that. We put your snacks in the mail.
We accept Mr.
All right, thank you, everyone.
The D vouchers.
We'll see you in Jan. And have a
Online.
great festive season. Okay, enjoy. Be safe. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good festive season. See you next year. Bye.